Good morning, Texoma. I'm Ashley Fitzwater. Thanks for joining us this morning. A lot of times when you think of kids' activities, you may think of soccer or t-ball or dance, gymnastics, but today we're talking about art. It's definitely something that is growing in interest, especially here in Wichita Falls, it seems, when it comes to the youth of Texoma. So this morning, we're going to jump right into a place you can actually take your kiddos to learn much more and how not only is art entertaining and fun, it's also changing lives. And we're going to hear some personal stories about how it's doing just that. Well, joining me now on the latest is Rachel Lyles. She is the owner and art teacher of How Great Thou Art here in Wichita Falls. So thanks for being here with us.
Thanks for having me.
Can you tell us a little bit about How Great Thou Art and really how you got started in all of this?
Sure. I've started doing art at a wee age, probably 2 and 3 years old. I've always loved to paint and to draw. It was just really my pastime growing up. As I got older, I decided I'd like to further that with education in art. Then I opened a studio in 2008 called How Great Thou Art. And the name came from the song, actually, which is an older church hymn. But I think it really fit the studio and what the kids can actually do with their art and actually be proud of it.
I have to say the name grabs your attention. I love the name because you're right. You can't help but kind of sing the hymn whenever you hear How Great Thou Art.
Right.
And I love the play on words, you know, like you were saying with art and then how great it is because, I mean, this is magnificent work we're looking at here. And you said these are all things that kids have the opportunity to come in and paint.
Yes, these are all paintings that we will teach, either I myself or one of my instructors. I have 4, and we have 2 kids instructors and 2 adult class instructors. But what we do is we teach in front of the class step by step. We mainly focus on color mixing skills, so we get the kids ready to see what colors make what. So for example, what makes orange, red and yellow. So the kids really, they hit the ground running. They have the paintbrush in their hands. They can get creative with these paintings. We have different themes each class. So each day is a class where they can come in and paint one theme, and they'll take that painting home at the end of the day.
And this is something everyone in the class is painting the exact same thing, correct?
Yes, we're all teaching the same theme for the day, but don't let that stop you by not coming, because it's actually neat to see how many different paintings come out of just that one thought. All of the kids have their own unique minds, and so they will put their own little twist. You know, maybe they want to paint the background a different color or, you know, add their own artistic expression. So that's always fun to see.
So all the same, but yet so different.
Yes, yes.
And one of the ones, very timely, of course, for Easter that you all did, and we can take a look at that. And can you explain a little bit about this and the inspiration behind that?
Sure. This painting was done by one of the kids' instructors, Lil Prothro, and it basically portrays Easter morning, and we're really getting the kids introduced to color mixing, blending the colors with the sunrise. And that's basically what this painting portrays. And Lil actually does a lot of the kids' themes because she is teaching them. Sometimes I will put one of my paintings up and she'll teach that also. But I think the introduction of how to put light into a painting is basically what this painting portrays.
It's beautiful, I have to say.
Thank you.
And something I'm sure parents can be so proud of as well, not only the kiddos, but these are meant to be hung in the house, correct?
Yes, yes. A lot of times after the kids get done with the class, they'll say, we're going to get this framed.
Aww.
And a lot of times people will send me messages, text messages with the pictures of the actual final artwork framed and hung on their wall. And it's really exciting to see people being proud of their artwork.
How exciting is it to see art become such a focus for so many families, especially children in our community?
I think it's great. It's a great pastime. I think with so much technology that the kids have access to now, which is a great thing. I mean, it's a great advantage. But I think it also puts the kids at a disadvantage because they forget how to work with their own 2 hands sometimes, or how to think for themselves. Or maybe they've had an idea in their head that they really want to get out, and you know, that's kind of where we want the kids to go. And also explain to the kids that the video games that they play or the cartoons or the movies that they watch, those were all inspired by someone who cared enough about art to, go into that industry and to be creative in that way. So I think introducing the kids to art at an early age is important. It just helps for a more well-rounded student. And I think it's been proven that the kids' test scores actually are higher when they have art education in the curriculum.
I also love how you can get involved with your child. There's Mommy and Me classes, right?
Yes, we have Mom and Me classes, and a lot of the times the moms, even grandparents will come. So it's not just for moms. It can be dads or grandparents or maybe even the babysitter, that day if they're looking for something fun to do. We have a lot of Mom and Me's, 2 usually during the month, during the school year, and then we'll have a lot going on in the summer since the kids are out of school. So we'll have a lot of Mom and Me's planned for that. And the moms actually learn a lot with the kids. They learn how to come up with activities on their own at home to help the kids learn a little bit more about color theory or just education on the color wheel. And so it helps them help painting with their kids at home if they choose to do so.
What are the ages that you're looking at?
We usually start Mom and Me classes at ages 3.
Oh, wow,
and
that
up.
young.
We have ages 3 up to 6 and 7 years old, and that's accompanied with a parent. But you can start art early as long as they're not, eating the paint.
Sure.
Exactly.
What are the prices you're kind of looking at a Mom and Me, and are you leaving with 2 paintings, 1?
Well, Mom and Me classes are $25 per painter, and that means Mom can paint alongside the child on one canvas. So there's two brushes working on one canvas. But if you don't want to do that, if you would like to have your own, so say you want your child to have their own canvas and the mom can have their own canvas, they can do that. The price is just $25 per canvas.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So if you do it together, you're pretty much paying for one.
Yes.
But maybe your child's a little more advanced.
Yes.
You've been doing this a
and
few times.
maybe has a little bit more artistic freedom.
Sure.
It's kind of interesting to see what the kids do and then what the parents do.
Yeah. Now I have to ask, if maybe you're like me and your best art is a stick person, how would something like this also be beneficial for those who simply cannot draw?
Well, and I hear that a lot. I hear adults say, oh, I can't draw a straight line. And, I tell them, we're not drawing straight lines. We're not drawing straight lines. We're there to encourage them. We're there to guide them and say, okay, you can add a little more to this. Don't be scared of the paint. Pick up a little more color. And I think they like that. They like that guidance.
Yes.
And it builds confidence. It builds self-confidence, because I think truly it is intimidating to come into a class and think, oh gosh, I've got to paint that.
Yeah.
And we just try to make it easy for them so that they'll actually learn to love the medium of acrylics or whatever we're working with at the time.
If there are parents out there and they've never taken advantage of this, what are kind of the options they have?
During the school year, we have classes for kids ages 6 and up, Monday and Wednesday during the week. And then in the summer, we'll have classes usually every day.
Okay.
At least some sort of workshop every day for kids to take part in. And the best way to sign up for a class is to get on our Facebook page, and it's How Great Thou Art Kids Art Studio, but everything that we do is based off of our Facebook page. So we'll advertise events, we'll advertise classes. We have a class sign-up link on our Facebook page where you can click on that, and then it will take you to the calendar where you'll find all of the classes held each day, what they are, what they're about. And we usually try to put our schedule a month in advance, so you can see April's schedule even in March. So, you can plan ahead. We'll try to have the summer classes on at least the second week of April so that parents can kind of plan ahead on what they're going to do with their kiddos this summer.
I saw on there as well, sometimes there's food involved. Maybe you pay a little bit more, but you're coming to not only socialize and paint, but eat.
Yes, yes. I actually love a little place in town called Pascal. I'm a little partial because that's my husband's restaurant. So he actually puts together a nice buffet for us of little appetizers. So when you come to the painting classes, you can have, the adult painting classes actually have the food. And so
I love that.
And I just wanted to add that the cost of the classes, this includes all of your art supplies, and we're working on canvas. We're using fine art supplies, and I just wanted everyone to know that the cost is included. The supplies are included in the cost.
Yes, so that's everything. I mean, you get to go home with your painting, your canvas.
Yes.
And your time there, everything's included. There's no
Yes.
additional fees or anything.
Correct.
Rachel, thank you so much for being
Thank
here
you,
today.
Ashley,
And
thanks for having me.
absolutely. Stay with us. We have much more on how art is affecting youth right here in Texoma after this break. Welcome back to Inside Texoma. Once again, we are talking about Texoma and art, and of course, really how art affects so many youth in our community. Susie Richardson is joining us now with a look at how art has really affected her life and how she has taken her passion for art and turned it into something that is now helping so many others. And her business, we talked a little bit about how great thou art and the studio. Well, Susie just started up her business not long ago, and it is actually run out of her home. She does it on location, and of course we're going to get into all of that. It's called A Stroke of Genius by Susie. I love the title, first of all.
Thank you.
And Susie, thanks for being here with us this morning. And one of the things I absolutely love about what you do and the tie to what we're talking about today is that as a child, you really had found a passion for art and what it is that you do today. So can you tell us about that?
Yeah, when I was little, you know, my mom would sit down with me and color, and I was one of those kids that you couldn't never leave alone with crayon or paint, because I would actually paint or color on the wall, on the furniture. So, you know, I was very monitored, but I loved to do it. And so when I got older, I decided to go to school and now I'm trying to make it a career, so it's really exciting.
Most of the classes you've been doing, you said, have been maybe church groups, girlfriends getting together, but you actually are taking even a deeper approach to helping kids in our area and youth in our area, like we've been telling you about today. What made you want to open up that avenue and reaching out to the youngsters in our community?
Well, I just know that, you know, creativity really starts at a young age. And so when I was little, I wasn't taught formally, and I wish I would have had that. And I graduated from MSU, so I'm, you know, fresh off the press, and I'm just ready and eager to help people that were in my situation, you know, didn't have that formal education as a child, didn't have that art class, couldn't afford it. I know that there are kids out there that art is their babysitter, and so I want to be that person that comes in and, you know, sits down and mentors them on different techniques or different creative ideas, or even just tapping into something that they like, you know, whether it be dinosaurs or butterflies. You know, I will paint a million butterflies with them as long as that's something that they enjoy.
I love that, taking what you've learned and already pouring it back into them. What are the ages that you're looking at?
I think as soon as they're in kindergarten, is a nice time to, you know, they're learning their colors. We might not be painting a Picasso painting, but it will be something that they can understand and that they enjoy.
You said not only was this something that was enjoyable for you, but it was also a great bonding time with your mom.
I really enjoyed just sitting down and having that one-on-one time with her, and, you know, really perfecting the techniques that she had, you know, coloring inside the lines, or, you know, shading that she did. It was our personal little moment together.
It seems like you hear this over and over, that art, you know, it opens your eyes up to creativity, and it even can build confidence. Have you seen that to be true?
As a little kid, you're always concerned with, you know, am I doing this right? Am I coloring inside the lines? But there's a point when you get older that people don't want you to color inside the lines. They want you to be expressive. But if you do it as a young kid, I mean, the creativity is endless. You know, you don't just make them paint a brown cow. Now you have these blue cows and these, you know, just off-the-wall things that really branch out and show a kid's personality.
A Stroke of Genius is not just focused on children, but if you don't know what to do, you can't color in the line to save your life or shade anything, and frankly, maybe a paintbrush just scares you to death. What is your advice to people?
Just to let go. Just let this be therapeutic. You know, there's no really wrong way to paint something. It's paint. It's not like cement, you know, where it dries and you just can't do anything with it. You can always paint over it. Just relax and just, you know, just go with everything. Let every stroke that you put on the canvas just just be what it is, and you'll really surprise yourself in the end.
Have you found that it reverts? It seems like I remember you saying people revert back to their childhood. What do you mean when you say that when it comes to art?
I think people kind of go blank when they get put in front of something that needs to be created. You know, it's easier for us to color in a coloring book, but when I say, you know, paint a red circle, now all of a sudden they've forgotten what red is, they've forgotten what a circle looks like, and so when they finally pick up a paintbrush, you know, then it kind of traps them, like they get scared and they don't know what to do. So it does really bring out the inner kid in you where you're like, am I doing this right? Is this perfect?
So worried about everything. I know I've definitely been in those shoes before. And Susie, that's where you step in, of course. And as the teacher, as the instructor, you're there to, of course, guide them, and the same thing with the youth as well. Tell me what the best part and what you enjoy most about what it is that you get to do whenever you go into these homes or you teach someone to pick up a paintbrush.
I like the end result. Everybody's is different. Everyone's is unique. You know, some people might have a skinny cross, some people might have a larger cross, and it's just nice to see the colors that they pick and just the way that they use their technique, the way they hold their brush. I really enjoy seeing everybody's individuality.
If someone is interested in, of course, A Stroke by Genius and contacting you, what is the best way to get a hold of you, and what are the prices that you're looking at?
You can find me on Facebook at A Stroke of Genius by Susie. Also, I have an email address that you can look up and send me an email if you're interested in having a party. The adult parties, they start at $25, and that includes all the supplies, and I will come to your house, any venue you have. The kids, it's $15, and again, I'll come anywhere you need me to and have as many kids as you like, but I just ask that maybe you RSVP. That way I'll know if I need extra help, because a lot of kids is a lot more than a lot of adults.
Absolutely. So maybe a fun birthday party or just a get together if you have cousins or neighborhood. Make it a play date, so to speak. $15, that includes the canvas, and you're bringing all of the supplies, correct? All right. Well, you can't beat that. Well, Susie, thank you again. We need to take a quick break, but we will be right back with much more. Welcome back to Inside Tech's Home. Well, we have been talking about youth and art in the community, and like I mentioned before, there is a group of guys, as you can see, joining me now, and really art has had a major influence on their lives, and not only their lives, but they're going to tell you how they are passing it down for other generations right here in Tech's Home. It's an exciting story. Joining me now with the details is Jacoby Genus, Carlos Fleeks, Deshaun Delgado, and Christian Mackey. All of them are juniors at Ryder High School. So guys, thank you so much for joining us and sharing your story today.
Thank you. Thank you.
Well, we're going to jump right into this, and really all of you, of course, artists. What is the concern that there has been, and how are you using your talents for something positive in our community?
Started with a suggestion. I put a suggestion in the suggestion box at the Wichita Falls Housing Authority, and she replied saying, I have a wall that you could spray paint on. And me and another partner of mine, Cameron Wiley, he was with me, and that's how it started, and everybody just added on one by one. There wasn't much for me to do. I wanted to find something that I like to do. I mean, basketballs and stuff like that. That was fun and all, but I wanted to find something different. And I thought of spray painting. I always wanted to do it instead of on trains, but found something to do it somewhere else. And I asked her to build a wall in the back, but she said I have a wall.
So she had a blank canvas for you all to go out. And I love how this story, not only is this a blank canvas for these guys to express themselves, but you said it's also been something that has brought about a change in the community that used to be focused on something negative, and that came with, of course, tagging and gangs, you guys said, right?
Yeah, it used to be a lot of gang tagging and a lot of graffiti that used to be on there, and we just kind of took it over and just started applying our own kind of art to it. So.
Yeah, and ever since we've just been doing our art on that wall, that wall hasn't been tagged since then. So it's been a good thing for the community.
Absolutely. Where is this wall located? I'm sure there's people who want to go check it out now, but can you tell us kind of the location and really what your hopes are for the future of the wall.
It's actually like right down the street of Washington Jackson Elementary on Harding Street. It's like a big dip, and there's a big wall right there. And what we want to do is we're working on it right now, but we have to leave to go to college soon, so we want to pass it down to younger people. So right now we're in the process of finding people to hand it over to when we leave.
Finding young artists, you know, better than us.
It's basically going to the people that have a good moral sense to themselves and know that what the cause is going for is for the community. And I mean, if they have the art ability, it helps, but I mean, we will gladly help them in their drawing ability and stuff like that. So,
how important is the wall to you guys?
The wall is something very important for us because it's something that we work on every day. And it's like in that wall, we all put our own talents, and like it's all into one. So
yeah, it describes us all personally. So, and we just want to pass it on so that it's there forever. So we always we finished the wall actually. It's already been all the way through, but we always go through the ones that like the paintings that we did like a long time ago and aren't really that well, and we go back over them and do them again. So stuff like that.
But it's crazy because in the very middle, you see the painting that we first started on. It was our very first painting, and we're just going to leave it there forever.
Nah, bro.
So we'll know where we started at.
Yeah, and how far you've come then, huh? Is it really just been the four of you who have been working on this together?
There's actually, we have another friend. He goes to OHA. His name's Cameron Wiley. And then his cousin Darian is another person that's helping us too. So,
have you had other feedback from what it is that you guys have done from the wall?
Actually, a guy who has a YouTube channel, he came and interviewed us and did a whole article about us and put us on his blog and had a whole interview with us and stuff like that. So a little bit of recognition.
We had small feedbacks sometimes where somebody will write on one of the drawings, great job, good job.
Have you heard anything from maybe your peers or people in the community who live on Harding Street or other business owners?
I have heard from a few people. It just was like, yo, did you see that drawing down there? Like, that's real nice. I'm like, yeah, it was me and a couple of my friends. We did that drawing down there.
And I understand this has also brought about another opportunity for you guys to continue your talents, and this is something that was at your school.
Somebody who's organizing Celebration, her name's Tammy Reese, she came and approached us about it and asked us to help her do the theme for it, and we're just basically putting some of our art on these black canvases and having them posted around the room for Celebration, for the dance.
A big opportunity, I'm sure, and a way to really showcase what you guys are doing. Have your parents, what has been the feedback maybe from home?
Keep progressing, keep getting better and better, and just do it because you love it.
You just told me, did you have fun? Yes, and keep going.
That's good. Make sure you're having fun while you're doing this, right? So I want to just ask you this last question, if you can each think that you would like to say to the younger people in our community to encourage them. Maybe something someone told you a long time ago.
If you have the ability to help out your community or anywhere around you, then you should take it and take advantage of it, whether it be drawing or anything else, or just picking up trash or anything like that. You should take advantage of it.
What I've always been told is the strength of our community is our community. So if we all come together as one, then our community will be good.
Well, me, Mom always told me, if you love something, push it to the max. Keep going. I'll never give up.
I'm always told to do my best and work from there.
Jacoby, it also goes back to just asking, huh? Asking what you could do, that's what you did. You asked if there was a willing and opportunity, of course, to paint, and it looks like you made that happen, and there's just been a ripple effect since with a lot of other guys. So thanks so much. We appreciate, again, all that you guys are doing, and we look forward to hearing more and seeing more of your talents and wish you the very best. Thanks for joining us this morning, Texhoma. As always, we hope to see you back here next Sunday morning for another look inside Texhoma.